Sweet Daddy, you got it, let's go. If you want it, you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up.
If you want some, come get some. Cause where I'm from, we so big. And everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows something about it. And I won't answer now. Who, what, where, why. See, a lot of dudes like to act the fool now.
You would think that being
I
that we
think it's
started
awesome. Huh?
yeah, you would think that we since I started late, I would have time to add to that and fix that up and add your little mug in there, and I completely got suckered into the YouTube rabbit hole. So,
That thing is awesome, man. I like it. I really do. I really do.
like I said, I gotta fix it. I gotta make it a little bit smaller because it zooms in on stuff that I don't really need it to zoom in on, and it like gives you a quarter of the screen, which is funny because before I was filling like a quarter of the screen, so now it's like, you know,
Now you're feeling too much.
Right? I need to Goldilocks that. But
Say
yeah,
Goldilocks it.
I need to Goldilocks. Like I was a fourth too big, now I'm a fourth too small, and now I need to be just
right. I was going to say, what is Goldilocks in it? Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that one out just how you explained it.
So, welcome into the X's and O's of life. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit something different. We're going to kind of do a bit of a test audience thing here. So, for the last probably a month and a half, we've been pretty much winging it pretty hard, right? And we generally were winging it before, and that's fine. Like, that's not a big deal. But we had at least somewhat of a, I don't know, process. Now, real quick, is there an echo on your side? Because I hear like a bunch of background noise.
I don't hear anything right now.
Oh, here we go with this bullshit again. Always something. But yeah, we have been winging it pretty hard lately, and it just doesn't feel great. Kind of lost our way a little bit, and obviously we don't want to do that. We want it to be, you know, the best show we possibly can. And I think unfortunately we kind of lost our way a little bit. Yeah, I hear like a bunch of reverb, man. I don't dig it.
Now I'm starting to hear a small echo. But yeah, we were on a tirade, we were on a rant, whatever you want to call it, whatever word or adjective that best describes what we were on, but we were on it.
Right. And I get it, man. Like, it doesn't always. I think the echo's gone now. I think I fixed it. Nope,
Okay.
I'm lying. Nope, I'm lying to you. Anyway, it just wasn't what I wanted it to be, right? So what we're doing is we're going to kind of tie in our topic with the draft. Now, the top or the let's see here. The title of the show is Guilty Pleasures, right? It's pretty self-explanatory here. But I want you, while I try to fix this audio thing here, I want you to go ahead and tell me what you think or what your interpretation of guilty pleasures are.
Okay. Guilty pleasures. I don't know why you would feel like you're guilty.
Okay.
It must be one of those things where it's a pleasure of yours that you probably indulge in or you like a little too much and most people don't like that much, or maybe they think that you're doing it to an excess. But if something you enjoy is something you enjoy, I mean, you could say that about football. I mean, we both love football, but to
Yep.
the average person that doesn't love football, they probably would think that that's a guilty pleasure of yours.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't anything that I'm pleasured by. Most of the time I don't feel too guilty about it, except for probably jacking off tonight.
Fair enough. So
That would be something
I
that I enjoy that I ain't supposed to.
okay. Well, that makes sense. All right. I think I'm finally good here.
Okay.
Let me know if you hear that echo go. Is the echo there? Are we good there?
I don't hear it. I only heard it briefly
Yeah.
yeah, I heard it for a quick minute for like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 seconds, and then it went out.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
you kept saying that you still heard it, so
Yeah, there was a little
obviously
bit
it's
of like
still
a
a thing.
reverb. There was a little bit of a reverb, and I know what it is. It's this one chord I have, so I'm probably yeah. See, I hear it again.
I hear anything.
Because I know last time we did this, and
Yeah,
you
I
know,
wasn't hearing it. I remember last time you were talking about the echoes, and I wasn't hearing it. But then when I replayed the show on YouTube, I heard it for sure. So
yeah, it was real bad. I'm probably just gonna get a new chord here because I think that's probably the problem. But
all right. So ask yourself the same question: What do you
well,
consider to be a guilty pleasure?
I'm gonna put a pin in that real quick because I forgot I had a bit of an agenda here, and I just kind of was winging it real quick. Because I'm
Oh, okay.
like this fucking noise. I'm like, okay, kill time, kill time, kill time. I was like, oh, did I fix it? It's great. And it's like, no, it's not because you're fucking terrible at your job. It was great. Um, so here, real quick. So as you can see down here, um the little name and then the thing below it. Before it used to say uh the website name, right? Well, website's still there. That's fine. But what we're doing now here is we have reinitiated the Patreon thing, and we're going about it differently now. And I know we've mentioned this a few times, but for anybody that's in here, here's kind of what we're doing. So, and I'm absolutely stealing this from another podcast, and I got their blessing for it, so it's fine. But we're going to do a monthly Q&A, right? I think it's a fun idea for me, you, and Taylor to kind of get together on the weekend. At the end of the weekend, the last weekend of the month, and kind of go through all the questions that we could get, and they can be anything under the sun. Doesn't really actually matter. So we do have somebody that jumped on there. His name is Chris Matthews. Good dude. He is a baseball fan as well, so he kind of fits into that mold. But he was kind of our cherry popper, and he jumped on, and it's $5, so it's not like any crazy amount of money.
Well, thank you,
And
Chris.
yeah, so and it's just for at the end of the day, it's to help the show. It's to help the overhead. I'm not going to go into exactly how much overhead I'm paying, but it's a hell of a lot more than $5. Um, so we have much bigger plans for the Patreon, but we do need to get a handle on it and get people to jump in and get with it and feel it and be happy with it and go on from there. But yeah, so if you're feeling frisky and you want to kind of see what we're talking about, it's there. $5 ain't gonna break the bank. Obviously, it's appreciated, and it gets you unlimited questions to us. So simple as that. Another kind of shout out I want to do here before we kind of get into the nuts and bolts here is Shaw from Spitball Media, right? So I've mentioned them before. He is a graphics designer, and I gave him a bunch of stuff to do to fix up the logos for all 4 shows. Consequently, those things are going to be going into the merch kind of catalog, for lack of a better term. So really excited about that. Waiting to hear back from them probably at some point tonight. Great. I mean, the merch thing isn't going to really pop off immediately, but I guess one of the questions I do have for the general public, for anyone that listens to this, from a merch, from an advertising thing, what do you guys want? What are you guys interested in? I'm talking about like t-shirts, hoodies. Are you talking about maybe like stickers? Anything really under the sun. Like it's not nothing is really out of the question. I'm just kind of curious what the general public would be willing to one pay for and to, rock, So I have some ideas already, but it's not necessarily for me. So it's one of those things where I would like to kind of get the audience's feelers on them. I mean, what are you thinking? Like, you're the host here too. What would you consider merch worthy? I guess, or
The easiest things for me as far as merch to rock or to to don out in public would be t-shirts, like you said, hoodies, hats. I'm not a hat
yeah,
person, but I
that's
know
yep,
a lot of people are hat persons, but you yourself,
yeah.
and these little wristbands, like like
Oh,
the
okay,
little I have tons of these
yeah,
wristbands. I don't even care what they say. I just rock them because it depends on the color or it doesn't
okay,
match my outfit or something like that. But if I had X's and O's, like little rubber wristband, I would be rocking
yeah,
it for sure.
okay.
Mhm.
I didn't even think of that. That's a great idea. Okay, and this is once again, this is why I posed the question. Um,
Those are your
oh,
easiest ones. I mean, anything other than that, I mean, like, I don't know. Who's like you could say a towel or something, but who's wearing like a small little towel or something like that all the time? Things that people can wear all the time without effort is a t-shirt, hoodie,
right,
hat, wristband. Um, that's about it. That's all I can really come up with
yeah,
that I know that I would put on and rock around because I would rock a t-shirt anywhere.
right, right. I mean, I
I
feel like
would
a hoodie is
definitely
such a
get to.
big. I think a hoodie is going to be a big mover just because where we live
Yeah.
and geographically, it's going to be hoodie weather sooner than later, and
Hmm.
who doesn't like a hoodie? And you just kind of no rock what you're listening to. I think that's a cool idea. Like how many? I
Yeah,
don't know if we'll see
a
it,
hoodie
but
has a hoodie has two courses throughout the year. It's the
right,
fall course, and then it's the coming out of winter spring course too. So yeah, you
right,
can rock that hoodie and
yeah.
definitely some good amount of time to rock that hoodie. Everybody loves a hoodie.
And obviously, we're not going to beat your heads in for the money part of it. It really is going to be for a little while down the road. But I mean, it'd be cool if it wasn't. I mean, if we get supply, if we get demand, then you're damn skippy hippie. We're going to jump in and start supplying. So, um, I guess the other really big piece of news here, and then we can actually get into the show part of it. Schedule. So, this is not necessarily this week indicative. It's mostly kind of aimed towards next week. Now, little programming note: we were supposed to record last night. Babs was a little under the weather, and then
Oh, okay.
we replanned it for this morning, and he was still under. No, I'm sorry, no, he was out of town last night. This morning
Okay.
he was under the weather, and so we're gonna basically just record tomorrow like we normally would. It's just gonna be a longer show. So, but generally from next week going on, because this is our last Sunday show we're doing. That's really kind of that's pretty much that's the end of it. So Mondays at 7 is going to be baseballed. Tuesdays at I'm assuming 9:30 or 10. We'll kind of get a grasp on that since you're working at home and all that. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But Tuesdays is going to be the new day for X's and O's. Wednesday is going to be 9:30 or 10 for football, and Saturday is going to be a busy day 8 o'clock is baseball, and 9:30ish, 10ish is going to be football. So we realize that for the late shows, there's probably not going to be a lot of live folks. I get that. That you're not hurting my feelings. We are not that important to stay up till 10 o'clock and do that. I get it. But that's also kind of why we pivoted for this, because we used to do Tuesdays and it used to be the waiver show, and no one's going to show up at 10 o'clock asking about waivers. By
Look
the
at your
time we
waivers and then implement them and go
right,
in and claim them that night. That's not going to
right,
happen.
it's just not happening. So Wednesday is going to be more like the, hey, who did you get? Who did you go
Yeah.
after? Kind of
Hmm.
things like that, and then just kind of do the regular preview stuff and figure out what we're going to do with that. Now, with that being said, we are doing a football on Wednesday, correct? Was that the plan?
This Wednesday coming up.
Were we doing that, or were we just doing the first show on the draft? I thought we were doing. I didn't know what we decided on that. I'm assuming we didn't, because you're like, huh?
No, we didn't set anything. No, because I don't
Yeah.
recall you saying anything about it. But yeah,
Do you think there's a need to do it, or a desire, or anything to really, bring from it?
I'm just saying. I mean, all we've seen is preseason, and we haven't even drafted yet, so it's not like we can talk about who we got or anything like that. I mean, so far this
Okay.
Wednesday, about the only person that got draft picks is me. I just came out of a draft, so other than that, I don't. What else do you have to say? I mean, like preseason is preseason, and
Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's fine. I just didn't know if there was something that you wanted to kind of touch on or not. But if we're kind of all set, then that's fine. So the plan is then for Saturday at 8 o'clock. We're going to jump in probably at like 7:30, because you'll be physically here, so you're gonna you can kind of pop in and out and do whatever. But I'll probably launch something around 7:30ish, maybe whatever, and it's gonna go through the draft, and then if you want to talk about the draft afterwards, you don't have any drafts after that, after ours, right? You're good.
Not that day. I have one
Okay.
the Sunday after, like next Sunday. I got one at 7:30.
Okay. All right. So then we could theoretically kind of chat about it after the draft if you want. We'll
Yeah.
kind of play. We'll play that by ear, to be honest. So, but yeah, that's the schedule part of it. But let's go back to the actual show part. So, what is a guilty pleasure? So, I actually looked this up in a few different places, and according to Oxford Dictionary,
Okay.
a guilty pleasure is something such as a movie, television program, or a piece of music that one enjoys despite feeling that it is not generally held in high regard, which basically is kind of what you said, right? Now, I looked up the AI version of the definition as well, because I figured, okay, let's kind of see what they got going on here. A guilty pleasure is an activity or a piece of media that someone enjoys but may feel embarrassed about others about it. Wait, may feel embarrassed about if others found out. Okay, apparently AI doesn't like to use punctuation. It can also refer to food that someone enjoys, even though it may be considered unhealthy.
Okay.
What I find interesting is Oxford's definition is much more positive feeling, right? The AI thing has a real negative connotation to it. It's just strange to
When
me.
you
I don't
say
know.
AI, what is? I mean, artificial intelligence, or what is?
Yeah, yeah,
So they got
yeah.
their own dictionary, like their own
Basically, yeah.
how it interprets it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
AI's version is like you're doing something sneaky and.
right. It's embarrassing. It's weird. It has like you don't want anyone to find out. It's like stuff you're doing in the dark, right?
Yeah,
Um. So
and Oxford's is just like, okay, you enjoy this, but most people don't, or most people
right,
don't
like you're
consider
more
it
of like
a.
the oddball kind of because you like it.
Yeah.
Like you just feel you're meant to feel weird about it. The other one is like you're doing
naughty
something
little,
right.
you naughty little devil. Like, yeah.
So my definition, I feel like it's kind of a combination of the two, but I think it's one of those deals where it's something that you want to keep to yourself. You don't really want to let people in on that, right? You don't want people to know you're like, yeah, I dig that, man. It's a little like you almost are like self-conscious about it, right? Whether that be a song or an action or whatever, it's one of those deals where it feels like I don't really like the feel of that. I don't like I love it, but I don't want anyone close to me to know it.
I mean, that's just to me that that almost can. It's definitely in the eye of the beholder, because some people don't feel guilty about it. So it's like they could be doing something that people totally frown on, but they don't give a fuck. I mean, like they don't
That can't be a
care.
guilty pleasure then, though, because that it's
Yeah,
not. 'Cause
if
I
they
feel
don't
like that,
care, yeah.
that's just like this is a Tuesday for me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and the way kind of the definition, it's like, okay, couldn't we ain't supposed to talk about politics, but couldn't your political views be considered a guilty pleasure? I mean,
No.
if it's somebody that's I guess a Trump supporter or something like that, they don't want people to know that, but they like the person. You know, I mean, that's
Okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, okay. Oh, that's
like
weird.
they don't want the like he could be delivering a speech and the whole room is like, oh, go ahead, and they're frowning, and meanwhile they're in the
Right.
background
And you're
smiling
sitting
like,
there.
I enjoy
Okay.
it. I agree with them.
Oh man, that's a good take, bub. That's a good take. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, initially until you explained it, I'm like, no, man, come on, get out of here. And
because
now you
people are so
explained it.
strongly viewed about politics, but when it starts getting into the dicey, candidates that people supposedly don't like or that has
Right.
a checkered past, some people, they're in public, they'll say, yeah, he's bad, but in behind closed doors, they're in
Hey,
full
real
support.
quick. Speaking of that, I just need to kind of put this out here. So I'm seeing a lot of political ads about Cam and all that. And yo, young Kamala, it's kind of a baddie a little bit. I'm just saying.
You said I took a closer look, and
See?
I would definitely.
Upon further review,
She could be bent over,
like
huh?
there's a few. I'm like, oh, I was unaware. All right, fair enough. Yeah. But
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that I already haven't seen. I mean, like, I guess you
right,
just never took a closer look, but yeah, I always knew that she was. I mean, she's not ugly or anything like
no, but I'm
that. She's
like young. I was like, oh, ooh, huh, there's enough. Like I could do without like the business suit, but it's fine.
But yeah, I mean, pleasure. Politics can definitely be a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like that's more of like a self-preservation pleasure, just on how like cannibalistic people are with that stuff. Like you're almost better suited unless you really know. God, this fucking echo. God damn it. It just drives me fucking
I
nuts.
can't hear it, but at the
Because I
same
know,
time,
I know what's gonna like I know what it's gonna do. It's gonna be like it's gonna be on the recording, and it's gonna drive me bonkers.
yeah.
And I don't know if it's like because you're talking on. I don't know if like I'm on the. You're listening to me through the phone, right? No, you're not.
No, I got my earphones
Yeah,
in, but then I got the phone plug in, and then I got the the
yeah,
digital, what do you call it, the dashboard or the digital board that
yeah.
we put on the podcast port or whatever.
Right, right. I don't know. I don't know. It like hits and misses. I don't know. I don't know what it's about, but it is very very irritating.
What's the name? I mean, now that I think about it, politics, man, is so secretive that when you
Yeah.
go vote, they put a curtain like you put the, they close the curtain for you to make your picks. Like it is a secretive act. I mean,
Yeah.
but if you're so, if you firmly believe in what you believe in or the views that you're voting for, why is it hushed and hidden?
Because
Like,
people are nuts. People are nuts and they'll shoot you and shit. Like
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can't just kind of let that be a thing because people will it's no, it's just not a it's not a good thing to kind of play with,
It's
right?
just not a public thing. I guess it's like I don't know. It's weird. I'm glad we don't talk about it because it is a very complex subject. Politics is a
Yeah.
very complex subject.
Yeah, I mean it really is just a thing where you start going into I don't know, you start going into the well, I believe in this.
Well, I think that it's whoever you're supporting or you're voting for, people automatically turn you into that person. Like
Well,
let's
yeah,
suppose let's suppose that I agree with 70% of a candidate that I'm voting for.
right.
And 30% I can totally disagree with what their views are. But if
Right.
I come out in public and tell people that I support this person or I'm voting for this person, they instantly turn me into that person and they want to attack me because I'm the closest thing to them that they can visually see as opposed to the person I'm supporting or voting for. It's like,
Right.
okay, I'm not Trump, I'm not Kamala. I'm not neither one of them. I'm not Bob Casey or whoever. But I might agree with some things that they do. But if somebody hates them, they're hating me as if
Right.
I'm 100% in support of that person. It's weird.
Well, that's the problem, right? Like you get people that will automatically associate you with um everything else that you are doing and you are absolutely this person because you agree with what they are and that means that's everything that you're based off of and then
Yep.
you can't be a person, you're absolutely just that political affiliation, right, you're not
Like I instantly become, if they're for abortion, I'm an instant baby killer. You know what I mean? Like whatever they support or whatever they back. I
right,
instantly become that person. That is
right, which is
crazy.
weird.
That's crazy.
That's just it's a weird thing because I don't understand why you have to I don't know why you have to do that, why you have to be that way. I don't know. But that's just kind of what it is and it probably is never going to change.
It's probably not. Pretty much
Yeah.
not.
Just have to kind of deal with it and be a part of it, I guess. I don't know. Like can't there's not what do you I don't know. What do you do with that? There's nothing to there's nothing to change. Like you're just stuck with that. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to the whole thing. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like you basically get set up in this whole, hey, guess what? Guilty pleasures are naughty. Like, why is that naughty?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, I think your guilty pleasures are fine. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with digging certain things that you dig. I mean, with that being said, I mean, we got a list, we got a draft later, but I don't know. I don't feel like they're necessarily having to be, I don't know.
What separates them from just a pleasure? Like, why are you calling it guilty? I mean, because I guess it makes you feel makes you feel guilty. I mean, like they said in public, or
Because it's
most people frown
embarrassing,
upon.
man. Because it's weird and embarrassing. Like, you start like, oh, I like to be, I like to watch goats. Goats do what? Things. Like, what? What are you talking about, man?
I mean, all right. Let's suppose you got your feet are sore all the time, and you like to, put your feet in a bucket and up some Epsom salts or something like that, and you like to do that 2, 3 times a day. I mean, it's helping you with your
I
feet,
don't think
but
it's a guilty pleasure. I feel like that's just being like healthy.
therapy.
Right.
but you're not gonna go around parading that in the streets. That, hey, guess what? I put my foot in the bucket 3 times a day. Like, I guess that's considered a guilty
Right, but if, like,
pleasure. I
you did
mean,
that, but, like, if you did that, but in that bucket were, like, leeches, that's weird, dude. That's weird. That's a
yeah,
weird guilt.
that's crazy.
Right. But I don't know. I just feel like it's in the eye of the beholder, like you said. It doesn't have to be weird. It doesn't have to be goofy. I think there's nothing wrong with liking what you like, unless it's harmful to you or those around you. So, um, I don't know. Let's get into the draft, man. Like, let's
Okay.
stop pussyfooting around here. Um, so this is the guilty pleasures draft here, and you know, uh, a little description afterwards, then move on to the next one. There's no need to kind of harp on it. I think the problem is on your side potentially. I don't know why,
With the
but
echoes,
yeah, I don't
I
understand
don't
why,
hear anything.
but yeah, something's goofy, but I don't know. Because initially, whenever you were having that little audio thing initially, and that's kind of like the little reverb that I hear. I mean, it's fine. Like, fuck it, we're already in it. Like, it's fine. But I just noticed that. Yeah, see, it's like a crunchy. Yeah, strange. It is strange. Jermaine's literally breaking his house.
No, this is like, I mean, as I'm touching things, I mean, I don't.
I'm hearing it. Like, as you're touching things, I'm hearing like it's almost like you. It's like you're listening to AM radio and there's the thunderstorm. That's what's happening.
Well, I heard
Yeah.
that when I just moved it.
Yeah, and that's been kind of that's kind of almost what it sounds like when I'm talking. I hear that reverb. I mean, look, fuck it, it's all good. Like, we're already super deep into the show. It's all good.
That's my headphone right there.
Yeah,
All right.
you got that
Okay.
dollar store headphone. Wow.
No, these are the headphones that came with the podcast set.
Oh, so yeah, the dollar store headphone. Do you think they're giving you good quality stuff? Come on, what's wrong with you? That's like saying, "Oh yeah, no, I got this HDMI cord with this TV that I bought. It's super good, right?" Yeah, keep telling yourself that, Junior. That thing was made for 14 cents.
I'm hearing all this.
Yeah, you're destroying it. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but
I'm just moving it. That's all I was doing. But
stop
yeah,
fucking moving a thunderstorm.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know how to
interesting.
fix that. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
do
it's
something.
fine. I'm just glad it wasn't on me because I'm like, God damn it. So I'm just gonna blame the black guy because that's what white folks do.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to go about it. That's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not. I don't feel guilty about it. But yeah, that's called a pleasure. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm gonna spark it off here. All right. So I wrote down some things, and I really don't think this needs to be said. I don't think any of our things are gonna kind of cross over. But so, the little disclosure here: the reason I figured this thing out was because I literally did it today, and I'm like, dude, this is so enjoyable. I love this so much. Power washing. I power wash the porch, and holy shit, I love it. It is fantastic. It's not a guilty pleasure. I'm not doing anything bad.
Oh, okay.
It's like a chore. It's
I
a
was
chore.
like,
It's a chore, right?
yeah.
But it is beautifully gratifying, like sticking that little power washer gun thing in between the cracks of the wood and just seeing all the shit fly out, and then cleaning the because I got the hardwood porch there. So I don't know. It's just gratifying. Like it's one of those things where it looks much cleaner after you're done. So I would say my guilty pleasure is taking part of a chore. And that's power washing. It's fun. I don't know. I dig it. Because you also kind of get to see the process as it goes too, right? Like you get to see your progress. So I don't know. Like you have the before and after thing.
Whereas what most people wouldn't enjoy, you don't think other people will enjoy the things that you get out of power washing? I mean,
I don't know.
it's
Maybe
almost like a
I
destructive
don't
type
have
of
like
thing that you're enjoying.
I'm not in like a power washing chat group. All right. Fuck. No, I just look at it from like a chore thing, right? Like when you think of like a guilty pleasure, I don't think one of the things that come to your head is fucking like power washing, man. Like it's not something that's just gonna like immediately hit. I guess just while I was doing it, I'm like, dude, I really enjoy this. And I think why it's a guilty pleasure too is because getting it started, it's a process, right? You gotta get the hose, bring the hose around the house, click it into the thing, then try to find an outlet to kind of plug it into, make sure all the wires are good, all that, put the soap in it. It's a bit of a process. It's not like you're constructing a rocket, but it's a bit of a process. So alongside with that, it being a chore, I think it's the weird thing to say like that is a guilty pleasure. It's a weird thing to derive pleasure out of doing that. Don't poke holes in my first round pick, you fuck.
You said what?
Don't poke holes in my first round pick.
I'm not poking holes in anything. I mean, you got me on tilt. I didn't know. I didn't get a chance to think about none of this.
Oh, you
So
mean
I'm
the time when I
like,
sent you a text like 6 hours ago? Thanks for helping.
no, you didn't send me no text that said anything about the guilty pleasures.
Did I not?
or the no.
Oh, I thought you looked at the show description because I thought you were a part of this fucking show. Apparently not.
No, man, I woke up. I seen the link that you normally send, but yeah, I didn't go into anything. I'm like, man, and then I
Well,
just
maybe I
had
should
my
be the
draft.
host and tell you shit. My bad.
I don't got anything. I'm trying to think. Uh, hey, I'm gonna take the easy one that's sitting there in front of my face. I mean, it's not a guilty pleasure. I mean, everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody don't like football, but
Oh,
just our
okay.
process.
I
I
absolutely
mean,
thought you were going to go jacking off. I absolutely thought that was going to be your
that's gonna probably be one of mine because
Yeah.
I've been on tilt. I mean, I'm unprepared, but yeah, I mean, just the football season. I mean, just leading up to it, mainly the fantasy. I mean,
Right.
that is just getting ready for it.
Right.
I mean, and talking about the picks and talking about where you draft at, and then when you actually draft the picks, and then it's
So it's kind of like the rabid nature, like the football foreplay is kind of like your guilty pleasure.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure that probably, only true football fans or true fantasy fans feel that way, where it's like
Right.
each week that passes, it's you can't wait till the week get here. But then once
Right.
the week is over, you're so upset that week is over, and you want to almost replay it.
Well,
It's
depending on how
like,
your week went, you may want to replay it.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Them losing weeks, yeah, you don't want to replay those. But
Oh, yeah,
just
those.
as the weeks go on, it's just, is my phone ringing?
Either that or your vibrator's going off. One of the two.
Oh yeah, my phone is ringing. Let me decline this call.
Sorry for the delay. Jermaine is refixing his dildo here.
I don't.
He forgot to put his vibrator on silent mode.
But no, as it
Vibrate.
goes on, you know as well as I know, we sit there and say to each other, after like week 6 or 7, we're like, oh my God, it's almost over. And you're like pissed that it's coming to that point where, because what is it like in fantasy? What is it, like 13 weeks? I think it's 14 now, because it's a
14
week
for this
17.
week, yeah.
Yeah, now that the league added an extra week of football, it's like an extra week of fantasy, but it's just like, you love it so much, you don't want it to end, but while you're waiting for it to happen, like, you can't wait till it get there. So it's like, it's wild.
No, that's a good pick. That makes sense. I think the pick really is more like the rabid nature around fantasy rather than just fantasy. I think that's the guilty pleasure part of it.
Yeah, like I think people like, and we see it in the leagues, the turnover that you have year over year. Everybody that doesn't view it the way we view it. Like, it's me, you, and probably like 3 or 4 others in our league.
Those people love their families. We don't.
Yeah. We definitely have a rabid nature about it. And, and to be especially in your league with so many starting spots, you have to have a ridiculous amount of either knowledge and want to dig that deep to get some of those players on your roster.
Fuck ton of free time helps too. And the inability to sleep very well also contributes to that too. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into my fucking equation. Yeah.
And me, y'all know me is it took a while, but people start finding out that I'm Mr. 3 a.m. I'm Mr. Go in Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning and start shopping. I'm waiting until that waiver wire period ends, and I'll take him, I'll grab that.
Right.
And most people don't do that. You don't see waivers happening at 3, 4 in the morning. It's me and probably like one other person until people start catching on. I start seeing, shit with you at 3:15. I'm like, this mother. and y'all don't know, everybody that's listening, this dude gets up early in the morning. So for him to stay up till 6 o'clock, to 3 o'clock in the morning to get his picks in, it's worse than me, because I don't start till 12:30. This dude starts at what? What do you start at, like? Huh?
Well, I'm usually up by like 5 or 6. So here's the thing, like I've tapered that back a little bit, only unless I'm in a position where I really need to fight for something. I'm not.
And you don't want to burn, like, here lately, like you said, past couple of years, you got, like, your waiver pick, or what order you're in, and you just fix it and forget it and put it on the waiver and you're good. But me, a lot of times, either I don't want to burn the spot because I don't think the player's that good, but I would like to have them, so I do the shopping then, or I'm just in a bad waiver position. So,
well, I think a lot of that comes down to it as well. Like, it's such a deep league that you're not going to find much that didn't get wavered. You know what I mean? Like, there's not going to be a reason to really stay up. Like, oh, no one grabbed him, let me snatch him. No, it's not really it's not really worth it there. Okay, so number 2 here. Give me a sec here. Yeah, that's weird. Like I'm just pressing buttons here. Yeah, nothing's happening. It's weird. So the dog licking my head at night.
Yeah, people would put that in the weird category, or in the
Yeah.
guilty pleasure category.
What the puppy likes to do, because it soothes him, and it's just it's soothing for me too. I don't know. He just comes up, he's excited, does all his puppy stuff, and he's like, "All right, Daddy, let's go to bed." And he will lick my face a bunch, and I'm like, "Yeah, love it." And then he'll
yeah.
love it. Then he'll circle and go behind me on my head and just lick the top of my head for a while. And I don't know if it's like a bonding thing or whatever, but something about it, I'm like, I enjoy this a lot. It's very soothing. So for most people, that's probably like, dude, that's fucking weird. Creepy. I don't like it. But yeah, that is number 2 for me.
All right. Me?
Jacking off.
No, that's my third. Okay. Second, just the shape, a very athletic shaped body. So, and the weird thing about it for me is I could see
It's
a
a guy.
mannequin.
Okay.
I could see a mannequin in a window display with no fucking head. But if it's well shaped and whatever it's got on, I will stop and do a triple take. Like, dang, look at that. Most people would be like, man, you are a weird thing. But if it is a nice shaped, put together body, mainly legs and ass, I'm took. I mean, it could be a woman that could be butt ugly, but if she has a nice body, I'm willing to take a chance. I don't know what that is.
We need to get you late because you're about to bang mannequins here. We gotta have a conversation off screen here about your mental health.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, it's been times.
No,
It's been times that I've either met somebody on the phone or I met them in real life, but I didn't get a chance to see them stand up. So they could be sitting down, and in my head, I'm like, "You're such a bitch. I hate you." The minute if you get up and you got a body, I instantly have a little bit of respect for you. It's
like
happened.
We need to get him laid. Everyone just start a GoFundMe.
It's happened plenty of times. I mean, I got examples of people at work that I work with.
Glad you're talking about real people and not mannequins anymore. Like that. That's where I'm at.
that I do not like. But at the same, I don't like their attitude. I don't like the way they talk. But because they have a nice legs, hips, I can tolerate a little bit more because they have a nice body. That is a crazy thing to me. It's just like, and I even say to myself, like, how could your attitude just completely change just because you found out that you got a nice body?
Because you were thinking with a different head. That's all.
Different head, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I adore the lower package of a woman. I just really do. And they don't even have to have a head. It could be a mannequin. And that's what I look for when I go to the fun house as well. You
I bet when Melissa let you go, you were like, you thick ass bitch.
No, she was. See, most people liked them. I didn't. It's kind of sloppy to me for her.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely sloppy.
Yeah, it's real sloppy. Like you could tell what it looks like when the pants and the clothes come off. So yeah, I never fell for the Melissa thing. No. Most people did. I know people used to always talk about it, like, "Oh, get her." She didn't do it for me. Some other people do. It's just like, wow. So that's like that ain't even a pleasure to me. That's like a fetish. Like, what's the difference between a guilty pleasure and a fetish? That's like a fetish to me. Guess they're the same thing, huh?
The amount of money that you spend on it, I feel like if once you go from like, oh, I like this to like being obsessive, I think that's where it becomes like a fetish. Yeah.
Okay. So guilty pleasure that got out of hand is a fetish.
Yeah. Yeah, like one that you started like losing sleep over, or you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that's the only thing that can kind of get you there. Like you can't have normal relationships. You need to be like, yeah, bitch, cut off your head so I can see them.
I didn't say I preferred them with no head. I just said that.
Look, I'm not saying
I
you
could
did or didn't.
I still look, even if it has no head. I even caught myself like, what are you doing? Like, you are. I'm sitting up like, look at that, and I'm like, the thing doesn't even have a head on it. What is wrong with you?
You're saying that, but you're saying that, and you're walking around dicks. You're like, oh, I have a problem. These are all mannequins. What has happened? What has become of me? All right, let's move on. Let's move past your main banging mannequins here.
Hey, this is what you do to me when you don't prepare me. So I'm just shooting.
I don't want to do anything to you. I don't want anything to be done to you. I think too many things were done to you. That's why you're in the fucking situation right now.
I'm shooting from hips. I'm sorry.
Okay.
If we in a shootout, I'm gonna return fire.
Well, the way you've been talking, I don't want anything coming from you. We're all set. All right, now let's go non-sexual. So hearing a tactile keyboard, fucking love it.
A what?
I like hearing a keyboard, like typing, but like with the oh my god, this with the buttons that kind of click in, like they're not the laptop ones, it's like the older keyboards. Yeah, I love it. It'll put me to sleep.
Really? You should have not sat next to Bobby at said job, because that's all I heard was her stupid fingernails tapping like all the time.
I don't like
I'm
the
like,
nail part. I don't like the nail part. I just want to hear the keys part. I don't need the nails. The nails fuck it up. I don't know. I dig it.
She used to annoy me. I just would hear just. I'm like, oh man. Yeah, even your typing is annoying. Well, I'm not gonna do two sexuals in a row. I'm gonna save the jack off for last, but you mentioned it plenty of times. Storms. I mean, you said you like. Yeah. Most people do not.
Should have been.
Yeah, thunderstorms. I mean, I'm not like. I just think the storm itself. I just think that a thunderstorm. It kind of puts people in their place, so to speak. I mean, I'm not saying that I want people to be, running for cover and hiding for their lives. It's just that, no matter how much people are laughing and joking or fighting or screaming at each other, let that rain start coming down real hard. It's like the great equalizer. It makes everyone take shelter, and it's definitely a true act of God, in my opinion. It's like where no matter who you are, how far above reproach you think you may be, that storm will put you in check. Like you will cease doing what you're doing and
That's a
adhere
good
to the
one.
elements. I mean,
That's a
even
good one.
we even see what even football or sports, they don't when it gets too crazy and it's raining too hard and it's lightning and all, they even have to stop that, and that's $1 million business. So
Right.
it
Yep.
puts everybody in check.
Nope, that's a real good one. I'm actually surprised I didn't have that on the list. That's a good pick.
Yeah,
All right.
you always talk about storms. I'm surprised you didn't
I love it.
pick that one.
So the other one is kind of a full circle one. The last guilty pleasure pick in this draft is kind of full circle because it goes back to my first one. And my first one was the power washing. So this is painting. I like painting stuff.
Really?
I like painting.
I hate having to paint anything.
Once again, it's one of those things where you can see the progress as you go. It is
Yeah.
a task, it is a chore, but you see progress as you go, and you have the before and after thing as you are doing it. So,
Have you ever painted with a like a spray gun?
No.
So you're talking about just a brush or
Right.
spray
Yeah.
paint can? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've worked on cars and I've had to paint cars with a spray gun, and
Yeah.
I mean that's cool. That's way cooler than, the hand brush or, or something like that. I still don't like it, but yeah. I mean, if you get a hold of one of them brushes, you'll be
it's a relaxing, peaceful, serene thing that you get to see the fruits of your labor in real time. And I think that is a beautiful thing because you get to have a feeling of accomplishment while you're doing it. And I think that is just, I don't know. So it's only a guilty pleasure once again because it's another chore, it's another task, it's another tedious thing that, I don't know.
You didn't grow up in my household because that's all we did was chores. I don't even want to hear the word chore.
Fair.
That's all my mom had us doing was chores, chores, chores. I don't take any pleasure, but that's your babies. Mm. um, I'm not gonna even go with the jacking off because it's not really a pleasure. I mean, it's not. You almost feel embarrassed afterwards. It's like your mindset pre pre jack off and post jack off is two different things. So I'm not going there. Let me think. Things that I like that people would most likely frown upon. I don't know. Video game wise, I know that Madden, everybody loves to play each other or a human player. I prefer to play the computer. So I don't know if that's like most people hate it. They say, what good is it to play the computer? But when I'm playing seem like a human being, they're either too good and they're blowing me out and I'm not competitive, or they're not good enough to keep up with what I'm doing. But the computer is a nice balance. It seems like their computer's never going to let you. I'm not saying the computer don't let you blow them out, but at the same time, very rarely do you do. They always, even if through cheating, they'll make something happen where they're not getting blown out. Like you're not going to get on that Madden game, not in 2024, and blow the computer out 76-0. It's not going to happen. They're not going to allow you to do that. But yeah, I told my one boy that, I mean, he was like, "Do you play online and you play with other players?" I'm like, "Nope." And he was like, "Well, do you play all your friends?" And I was like, "Nope." And he was like, "What do you do? Play the computer?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, what kind of weirdo is you that like to play the computer?" I mean, I play whole seasons against the computer, whole season, playoffs, all of that. I mean, and I enjoy it, and most people don't. So I guess that
That's
would
a
be
good one.
yeah, somewhat. That would, because
I mean,
most
it's
people
an
tell me that,
oddball one, but it's a good one. It's like, okay, you explained it. It made sense why you got to that point. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, most people like playing human players or playing online or something like that. They don't like playing a computer. Me, I enjoy it. I prefer
I
to
don't like
play the
playing.
computer.
I don't like playing human people
Yeah,
on anything. I'm just like, no, I'm all set, man.
yeah, like your baseball game. Like you met, like either you're gonna play somebody, you're gonna blow them out, or they're gonna be so good that they know stuff that you don't, and you're gonna get frustrated and probably quit.
Right, like that's the thing. Like there are people that spend all their day doing that, and then it's like, dude, go touch grass. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. So that's it for me.
Yeah, yeah. I don't really have any honorable mentions there. It's kind of really about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of wrap it up here. Mostly just because the more and more I do this, the more and more I get frustrated with this fucking echo. So,
Yeah.
um,
I gotta
doing my
do
best.
something. I don't know. I mean, you said it's me. I don't know what I
I
gotta
think it
do.
is, but I can't really be sure because I only hear it when I'm talking sometimes. So I just don't. I don't know. I don't get it. But so as you see down below, like we'll start. We'll end how we started. If you're feeling frisky, feeling generous, go on the Patreon there, jump into the tier. It's only a 1 tier thing. It's only a $5 tier, so that's it. And you'll be a part of the Q&A stuff. Be on the lookout for kind of updates for the digital media part of the logo fun stuff that's going to be coming down the pipe here. So yeah, so I will see everyone tomorrow with on the baseball show, and then I will see. Yeah, I guess I'll see you again on Saturday for the draft. Yeah, by the way,
In person.
a little promo for the draft. We're doing the live draft here. So take a gander at that. So that'll be a fun. We're doing the live stream of the draft, so you can kind of tilt with us. So
I was gonna say, make
yeah,
sure you test that out to make sure we can. The
yeah,
screen can see it. Yeah.
yeah. I'll mess with it. I'm not even remotely worried it's gonna work. I just haven't spent any time doing it. But I've talked to enough people that that's going to be fine. It's not a problem. But yeah,
Cool.
so
Good show. Good show.
yeah, it was fun, man. I like the idea of doing this how we did it. I think it's a good test run. We'll come up with something by Tuesday, kind of run it by each other, and then we'll build the draft and the episode off that. And then we have time to kind of pick it apart, figure it out, what's going on. And obviously, in the meantime, I'm gonna be doing some more shows. So if I'll pretty much know tomorrow if I'm having the same problem, if it's a me or you problem.
Okay.
I hate to put it that way, but I'd rather it kind of get.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take everything, take everything apart and, well, not apart, but just take all the wires and stuff out and,
Right.
Try to start all the settings over and see if that helps. I don't know what else to do at that point. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily worry about that yet. Just kind of see what happens tomorrow. I'll let you know if there's any issues with that.
Well, I mean, you've done them with Babs, and you're saying that you don't recall hearing any echo, and then so it must be something on my end. I don't know.
I mean,
But
the only time I've ever had an echo is twice with you. Now I know the one show I did on that Sunday morning, I had issues where I couldn't be heard, but I think that's because I didn't add myself first. I added him first, and I think that threw it into flux. So when I had them back out and I went back in, everything was fine. So I think that was more of a clerical thing, but yeah.
so when you hear the echo, you said you only can hear it when you're talking. Like, do you hear it when I'm talking?
No,
It's weird. And
it is.
like
And
you would
that's
echo
why
on my system.
and it's not
Correct.
even really an echo. It's just like every now and then it's like a
Some interference.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like a muffled variation of what you would have when you were moving things around. So if you could picture, I mean, well, fuck, I don't think you're gonna have to picture. You'll be able to hear it on the replay back, but um, it's basically that sound if you were playing it through a telephone, I guess, and having someone hear it. That's the best way I could describe it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
But yeah, regardless though, good show, good stuff. I'll see everyone tomorrow. We'll see you guys on Saturday. And then welcome to football, boys.
Mm.
Just kidding.
The time has come.
Yes, it has. Now, speaking of that, don't look at any mannequins or anything there. If you want to know what we're talking about, if you just caught, you know what, I guess you wouldn't really catch it here, but yeah, Jermaine Bang's mannequins, and that's how we're ending the stream. Goodbye.